Today we're looking at the future leaders and their visit to Moulton Holland High School.
Okay, so do you think that just one head teacher can affect a school in a positive way?
Absolutely. I think that it's the vision of the head teacher, and that vision is sort of pushed by the head teacher, and I think absolutely a great head can have a massive impact on a school. Oh, sorry, I just
Don't let it, sir. I mean, I agree with Sir because I think clearly your executive head teacher we've met today has had a really powerful influence on your school. That one person leads other people, and that's half the trick of being any sort of leader at any sort of level. It's not just about saying where you want to go, but getting other people to want to follow you. And what's really clear and the most impressive thing about this school, I think, is that everybody is following the same sort of answer. And when I'm asking students, this is what's happening in your poetry lesson, is it a gamble? Are you lucky to have this fantastic teacher, or is it the same in every poetry lesson? They're pretty consistent that no, this is how all the lessons are. And so that's a huge, powerful leadership influence, and it's leadership from the executive head teacher to the head teacher to heads of year to heads of department to student leaders for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What has inspired you to join the Future Leaders programme?
I think, sorry, I keep going first. I certainly think just the chance to make a change for the better. Yeah. I think there's lots of situations where, as a teacher, I would think, geez, I would like to fix this up or do this, and I think that's just part of my personality. I walk in a room and I think I'd like to paint that, or we could fix this up, and I think it's the same in schools. It's just how can we make a difference?
Yeah, and I think it's the same for me. I like fixing things and making them better. But also, I'm really lucky, and I was reminded yesterday when we visited a really fantastic independent school. I had a really fantastic education. It cost a lot of money. It was very privileged. It was beautiful. But not everybody gets that, and it's not realistic that that's the case anyway. So what's really important now is, given the really good luck I've had, to use those advantages to help everybody else. It's really important to me that everybody, no matter where they're from or what their background is, can have a really fantastic life and can be happy and can have a really bright future and stability and safety. And so I think education is the best way to do that without, say, going and being a doctor in Namibia, which I'm not strong enough for. So education can change the world.
Mm. And I think it's, especially in secondary school, it's about making sure that there are opportunities for young people to experience things and to find their talents and build on their talents and just to be curious about the world, isn't it? So that they can go out there and actually make a change and be critical, but also have that knowledge of history and of the greater world. I mean, I think it's so important, isn't it?
Okay, what are your opinions of Moulton Holland so far?
I think it's pretty clear we both love it.
Yeah, it's a great school. I mean, I could not believe the level of the presentations from the students this morning. I mean, I would struggle to get up and speak that clearly, and it's really impressive. But then when we listen to the executive head, I could see that's where it's come from, hasn't it? I mean, he's such an eloquent speaker. So, yeah, and the classes and the teacher, I mean,
I really liked his message about keeping things ultra simple, and it's really hard to make something really simple, but that's really powerful and important to do, because when you look around the school, everything is simple, it's very clear, it's up on the wall, and that's evidence because all the students and staff are calm, they know where they're going, they know what they're doing, there's no panic and stress, and that's hard to achieve and probably hard to keep going. But look, it's in a beautiful location, it's beautifully cared for, that's very clear. Students seem to have a lot of pride in their school. If you look around, the most pleasing thing is obviously everyone's learning, but everyone's smiling, and so it's really delightful to be here.
Okay, have you got any inspiring figures as head teachers that you look up to or aspire to be like in the future?
Apart from Mossy Collins, yeah, it's really quite difficult to pin it down to one person. I think that there was a gentleman who runs a school in the north, you know who I'm talking about, I think, who we learned about on some of our Future Leaders training, and runs a school probably not too dissimilar to this school, where what we're trying to achieve is very clear, the vision and the values of the school are deadly clear, and they're really focused on what's the best thing for students. And then working backwards from that is then planning every other aspect of the school's life. So I think that's really aspirational. And the other person is probably Heath Monk, who's in Future Leaders. And because for the same reason, he's very thoughtful and considerate and strategic and calm. This is a really tough thing to do, to run a school. And it's a really important thing to do. So anyone who really takes all of the external pressures like Ofsted, parks them and says, what's the best thing for my kids? That's someone who I'm wanting to follow.
Yeah, for me, I think it was a bit different. I can't really, I mean, obviously we've had all the training and these inspirational heads and things, but I think for me there's one person that sticks out, and that was my guitar teacher when I was younger. Because I sort of grew up in a farming town. It's kind of the same thing, no one went to school. University, that's not for us kind of thing. And I started studying guitar with this professor who was in his 70s at the time, you know, but our lessons weren't about guitar. He was telling me all about European history, and we had these, and I was like, wow, like it was all of a sudden this whole world of everything else opened up for me. And that was where I kind of thought, everyone had a chance to learn about these things and to have those experiences. I think that's what I take with me, is that just to bring that to everyone. So it's not necessarily a head teacher.
My favourite teacher at school, I'm not going to lie, was probably the opposite of everything a teacher should be, in that I don't think he was a qualified teacher, and he was quite gruff, and I'm not really sure he liked children. So it was computing, which I love, and every time I did something, I took it to him, and he would only say it's correct or it's incorrect, and then he'd say go away. And I really liked that level of challenge.